I eat twice a day because I just feel a lot better and a lot healthier when I do it. Like really, that's it. Those are the reasons. Of course, there are some other things I noticed that, for example, when I'm on an empty stomach, I can actually focus a lot better. I'm much more alert and attentive. It also helps a lot with weight loss. And also, I think this was the main reason I pulled back not eating that much, especially at night, because when I ate close to going to sleep, it kind of disrupted my sleeping. It wasn't that good quality. I couldn't sleep that well. So yeah, I just feel a lot better when I don't eat that much. I mean, not when I don't eat that much, but when I don't eat all the time throughout the day, when I eat like twice a day. So basically, you could call this intermittent fasting, I guess. I eat 2 big meals a day, and it just feels great. And I think there are some other like health benefits, like it reduces the chance of cancer and stuff like that. I mean, here's what ChatGPT said about the benefits of intermittent fasting. I'll put it up in here on the screen, like weight loss, fat loss, improved metabolic health, heart health, cellular repair, brain health, cognitive function, inflammation reduction, increased human hormone, growth hormone, improved blood lipid profile, whatever that is, cancer prevention, longevity and aging. I mean, it's just great. And I also heard it all over the place. People talking about this, that it's actually better to eat less times a day. Eat once a day, twice a day. And it was just a myth that they told us that eat 3 times a day and how important it is. Now, of course, I'm not an expert on this. Like, I just tried it out and it works for me. I can't tell you what to do. And to be clear, I'm not trying to convert you into eating twice a day. This is not a cult or something like that. I'm just telling you what works for me. And it might not work for you. Maybe you feel a lot better if you eat 3 times a day, or once a day, 4 times a day. It's entirely dependent on you. Like, I mean, I can't tell you what to do. Like, who am I to tell you what to eat and when to eat it? That's what you gotta decide for yourself. Because you know yourself the best. You know your body the best. You just gotta listen, tune into those signals. What your body tells you about what the food that you put into your body. Because you probably feel it when you eat something shit. Your body tells you that this was shit and you feel like shit. You just gotta tune into those cues. So this is the point. To find what works for you and experiment a little bit. And the reason why I'm making this video is really to just tell you about this. That there is also this opportunity to eat twice a day, intermittent fasting. And that it works great for me. And to encourage you to experiment a little with this. Because diet and when you eat, like, it's much more important than you actually think it is. It influences you a lot. Now, before I get into other stuff, let me just tell you first about what I eat, when I actually eat it. Let me get into more detail. I wake up at 5:15, I do my morning routine, and I have a breakfast at 9. And that breakfast is just so good. I'm just so hungry when I get there. And you probably notice that when you're hungry, like anything that you eat, it tastes 10 times better. Because you're just hungry, you just want to feast. So I have a great breakfast at 9, and then I have another meal at around 3 or 4 o'clock, around that time. It's not that exact, but of course, occasionally I still eat something small after that, after 3 or 4 o'clock, because I'm just not that strict with my diet. But I always look out to not eat anything like 2 or 3 hours before going to sleep. Like, I always look out for that because I don't want to disrupt my sleep. I had to take off my shirt because it was getting really hot in here, but look at how cool my t-shirt is. Like, I got space cats on it. Cat astronauts. How cool is that? Now, basically, between my breakfast and my lunch, or the first and the second meal, I have a 6 hours of gap most of the time. And between my second meal and the meal after that day, like my lunch and the next breakfast, I have 15 hours of a gap. That might seem like a lot, but I got used to it very quickly. And of course, this varies a lot of the times, especially when I go to university, because I don't have breakfast at home and I don't come home at the same time and so on. So, but basically, like 80% of the days it's like this. And for what I eat, if I'm at home, I eat eggs, I eat meat, ham, feta, this very nice cheese. I also eat vegetables, peppers, and also sometimes I eat this like very great, it's like this traditional Romanian food, like it's called zakuska. It's basically like a creamy, like you put it on like bread or something. It's like, and it's pepper. Like I put a picture up in the screen. It tastes great. I also eat eggplant made in the same similar way to that, like smashed up, made into this creamy form. It tastes very good. I love it. And I also eat like onions and a bunch of great stuff like that. But yeah, most of the time, eggs and meat, it's always there in my breakfast. And when I have to go to university, I just eat like a sandwich, oatmeal, fruits, stuff like that. And for dinner, it varies a lot. Sometimes I eat meat with rice or potatoes, sweet potatoes, or a soup, or some lasagna, whatever. Like it varies a lot for dinner. But that's great. I mean, variety is the spice of life. I mean, if you eat the same thing for dinner, it gets boring. So yeah, I love it. But my basic rule to what to eat is to just not eat shit food. I mean, really, it's that simple. Like, to not eat a bunch of sugar, a bunch of carbs, like this very like greasy, oily food. To not eat too much processed foods or that have a lot of like this soy oil or stuff like that messes with your estrogen. Or to not eat bullshit food, a bunch of junk food and fast food and McDonald's and stuff like that. So that's really the challenge, to differentiate between the shit food and the good food, and to eat the good food. That's it really, I mean. And now for what I recommend you eating, I can't really tell you, because what works for me might not work for you. For example, I might love, and my body might just love peppers, but you might be like allergic to peppers or something like that. Your body might react to it in a different way. So you just got to experiment. What works for you? What kind of diet works for you? Bananas, nuts, peanut butter, whatever works for you. Meat, rice, sweet potatoes. I mean, some of the things that I can recommend is eggs, meat, potatoes, not fries though, not French fries, because that's just not that great. Sweet potatoes, rice, some vegetables, fruits. I mean, those are most of the time just great. But you gotta experiment yourself. Now, as we talked about, it's important what you put into your body, but it's just as important when you put it into your body. So I recommend to try out one of these intermittent fasting stuff. Just try it out and see it for yourself. If you eat 4 times a day, try eating 3 times a day. If you eat 3 times a day, try eating 2 times a day. Just try it out. I mean, you don't have to follow my advice blindly. Test it out for yourself. I mean, that's really what I encourage you. Don't just believe me blindly at any of my videos. Take what's good. Take what's beneficial and leave the rest. Really. Like, if this doesn't work for you, then just don't do it. As I said, like, it might not work for you. So you have to find whatever works for you. But I do think that it's at least worth a shot to give it a chance, how it is like to eat twice a day or 3 times a day. I do recommend not eating close to going to sleep. I mean, sleep, you probably know just how important it is, and you just don't want to disrupt that with eating and digesting throughout when you're sleeping. Now, if you're used to eating a lot throughout the day and all over the place throughout the day, it might be harder, that transitioning phase between eating a bunch of times a day and eating 2 times a day. That transition might be hard. I mean, it was kind of hard for me. I did fail hungry, like a lot of the times when I started doing this, but I got very used to. But I got used to it quite quickly, and you'll probably get used to it quickly too. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, you can freely leave them in the comments, and if you're interested, I'm doing free one-on-one calls. You can send me an email and we'll contact each other. You can ask me any question that you want. So thank you for watching this video. Thank you for being here. All the love towards you. Have a great day and goodbye.